Peace and blessings, y'all. This is your boy Gerald, and it is Tuesday the 5th, January 2016. How is each and every one of y'all doing? I'm going to try to make this short and sweet as best as I know how. I'm mastering time. I'm trying to. So, we've already started a new week, and you're already reflecting on some of those affirmations that you said when that first strike of that clock ushered in the new year. Some of y'all right now are teeter-tottering already because you're starting to realize that what is going to be required to make that choice a reality is going to be more invested from you than you thought. But I want you to take this in. See, nobody can see what you see. No one can make you do what you do. So it's very important, if you have not, to be vulnerable to yourself. See, unfortunately, there are people that believe that life owes them and they don't have to invest. And they're finding the reality is that that's far from it. And you haven't even settled in the first week of the new year, and you may have had some things that was hidden to you be right up in your face. I know I'm talking to someone, but see, that's okay. Sometimes you're going to take a step back. Sometimes you're going to have to look at what is being presented to you to see its worth. Because see, those things are going to be the things that are going to be connected to you the moment that you claim it. So you really cannot expect those that have found a way or inherited a way of access to your life to fully get you now. See, what you're witnessing is that spiritual division, y'all. So with that being said, you need to be conscious of the things that you accept. I know I'm talking to somebody. See, you got a lot of double talking going on right now in your life. And every time that you try to grab your feet, they speed it up some more because see, they realize the jig is up. They realize that the footing that they had in your life, they don't have it no more. And they're scared. They're not scared in retrospect of their physical safety. They're they're afraid of the one upmanship that they had over you. See, when you know that term, real recognizes real. And I think a lot of you are stepping out of a place of anger. Some of you are taking a different approach when it comes to acceptance. But don't worry about the descriptions. What you want is what is rightfully entitled to you. See, what we're talking about, y'all, is your legacy. What we're talking about is your direction. What we're talking about is that inner peace, that thing that you can't buy. Because see, that was the one gift that God gave you the moment you took your first breath. But see, because the devil is a liar, he wants to play you like a new fool. Yeah, he do. So the moment that you say, well, you know what? I'm just going to do me. Now you're starting to see that validation of attention that you long for. You're getting so much attention now because people are starting to see you in a different light. You have no problem getting their eyes and their heads turned when you walk into a room. But don't be deceived, y'all. Don't be deceived because we are what we attract. So guess what? If you know you're not in a position where you feel firm, how do you expect your connections to be? If you feel that you don't have the clarity that you long for inside your spirit, because see, nobody will know what you feel unless you exhibit it. You can't expect for that not to be played out. So I think some of you now, see, one of the hardest things you're going to ever do in your life is truly understand what grace is, how that's defined to you, how to truly embrace walking in humility, how to take accountability for your life. And it's hard because, see, these are things that you won't find in a book, y'all. And even if you did have a book, it is based on the interpretation of the reader. So, what you got to do is have that little courage that, so you don't even realize how strong you are. But I tell you this though, when the emotions come and you're trying to figure them out, don't let your instinct kick in. And why I say that is because I have a feeling that somebody's saying this. You have a nerve to look me in my face and live a lie. You knew that this was something that was vital to my direction and you willfully hid it from me. I know I'm talking to someone. Somebody is realizing that the whatever information that they were told, maybe it was something in their youth. You realize that was an illusion and you're pissed off because you're not looking at it correctly. You're not looking at it correctly because you're allowing your anger, your temperament to be the viewpoint. You gotta push that to the side, y'all. You have every right to feel the way you do, but it's still your responsibility how you display it. But I know there's somebody saying right now, Gerald, you don't have to walk in my shoes. You don't have to deal with my day to day. And you don't know what that person did to me. I have the right. Yes, you do. But keep this in mind. Sitting in the cut, the devil's saying, that's right. I'm going to use you as the tool to bring pain to them. I want you to go on ahead and act on my behalf. Be my ambassador. Because I know that when you do that, it's going to set you back. Oh, yes. And there's going to be a price that you can't afford. But guess what? I get the consolation prize because I get to impact them too. I know I'm talking to someone. Somebody may be dealing with some challenges in their job because there's been a shifting going on. People going to other departments, people coming into your workspace. And you feel a certain kind of way when you're around these people because these people do not know how to, how can I say this? They wear their emotions on their face. That's why you always hear that the eyes are the window to the soul, because it's true, y'all. It's true. But see, there's some legitimate beef right here. I gotta, I can't, I'm I'm talking to you because it's flowing out of me. And just as I do every video, it comes from the Holy Spirit. But I know this needs to go out to someone. And you got this feeling like, I don't come to work with the intentions to get fired, but that's how you feel when you're around this person. I know I'm talking to someone. Maybe you may have some information about this person that was conveyed from someone that you may have felt was a reliable source. And there's a bias going on because you have a connection to this person. Pump your brakes, because you know how that proverbial saying going, there is two sides to to every story. I like to say there are two sides to every truth. It just depends on which one you want to claim. You may not realize that the source is not credible. So before you let that word fall from your mouth, or you act unjustly, just pray on it. And you're saying, Gerald, why pray on it? Because I'm gonna tell you what, if you decide to pray on it, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get your validation, because it's gonna be revealed to you. And you're gonna be scratching your head and you're gonna be like, I be John Brown. And you're gonna be feeling like you missed or dodged a bullet. Because what has been hidden always is revealed in the intended time. Now, let me throw this out here too. Whatever this action, whatever this conversation, whatever took place, remember, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Do not compromise your dignity, your grace. How about your time to stoop to someone else's level if it's not even? But guess what? If they saw your worth, shouldn't they exhibit it across the board? But if anything, lift you up. So if you're getting some backlash, there's a reason why you're seeing it. Maybe there's a block that you have not or forgotten about, and it's being required for you to take a note on it. That's right, y'all. Do not think for 1 second that the dirt that you have done, because we're not perfect. We're not perfect by a long shot. Some people have gotten so numb in their lives that they think things don't exist, and if I don't think about them, they're not real. That's part of your legacy. And the moment that you decide to look at it, guess what? If it was a pain, if it was a disappointment, or even if it was a betrayal, the moment that you have the courage to look at it, guess what happens? You take the fear out of it. You take the sting out of it. You know why you take the sting out of it? By looking at it. You look at it objectively. My mouth is not working. You would think with these soup coolers on my mouth, stop laughing. But what I'm trying to say, y'all, this is the year of many truths. This is going to be, my queens, let me just stop right there and put this out here. This is going to be the year when you don't even realize it or not, and it's going to hit you while you think and act a certain way. You're going to see the correlations from the company that you willfully keep, because like I said, no one can do anything unless you co-sign it. You got to sign off for it to play off. So therefore, you got to own it, no matter what it is. But you may even allow yourself permission to go deeper. Go deeper, and you will find the core of that wound that you're carrying. Because let me tell you something, and I say this out of love. If you think for 1 second by changing the environment is a solution to your emotional problems, you're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself. Because guess what? You're still going to take that baggage to the next one. You're still going to take that burden to the next situation. And guess what happens? You compound it even more. You don't deserve that. That's why you hear the term emotionally running. Give me 1 second, y'all. Just give me a couple seconds. I got a bird. You might hear it in the background. I want to let it fly over because I know the devil's a liar. And I know somebody's listening to this by bated breath. Hold on 1 sec. All right. Yeah, this is going to be that year where those who have been picking at it, what I'm talking about is your clarity. You're going to have some spiritual support. Yes, you are. Because, you didn't even realize it. But you're going to come to understand that if there were some things that you did not believe, you're going to be made a believer. And I say this compassionately. I used to be there. I did. I used to play around with my faith until I started seeing the connections of my delays, to the point that I would start to see behaviors and actions indirectly manifest in other people, only to say inside my own spirit, that's me. You know why you see that play out? That's your physical validation of what not to do. That is also showing you that you also are being reviewed. Because let me tell you something, y'all. If you think for 1 second that angels and demons do not exist, you are in a rude awakening. You have people, you have spiritual guidance at your disposal. But because we have free will, y'all, they can't help you. No, they're not established for your get out of jail card when you want to willfully disrespect yourself. That don't work that way. You don't get a pass for that. But I got a feeling right now, somebody, you playing with spiritual doors too. I know I'm talking to you because you are trying to self-educate yourself and you picking up nuances from conversations that you shared, and you said, well, they say it work and I'm seeing evidence it must work. Maybe I can get a little bit of that. Let me tell you something. The great deceiver is Satan. The greatest trick the devil ever achieved was to convince man he didn't exist. Hidden in plain sight. Now, mind you, at one time, Lucifer was the #1 angel to God. So guess what? His skill set was on point. So why would you think an angelic person, creation, I'm losing words, y'all, so work with me, has no issue in wrecking your life? Don't you realize the #1 reason why demons come to us? Because they're able from the spiritual realm to see the light in you. The light in you is your innocence. I know this is something's telling me right now. For that one person, you know what I'm talking about. Why you think you had all those hardships when you were 3, 4, 5 years old? You saw a lot of pain, had a lot of nightmares, but the ironic part about those nightmares, it was the same demonic entity. And every time that you would dream, it would look back at you. You know why it was there? Because it saw something that was made beautiful and it had your name on it. So they had to attack you when you were most vulnerable. So you may have gone through some physical abuse. You may have had to endure incest. Oh, I know I'm talking to somebody. Yeah. You may have had to deal with some abandonment issues that all you wanted was love, but all you saw was pain. And your little mind, with that big heart, you would say to yourself, "But why won't someone protect me? Why won't someone keep me near? Why am I constantly having to get up, wipe the cuts off my legs?" I know I'm talking to somebody. He had to deal with a lot of bruising. But the biggest bruise you ever had that still has not healed is the one on your heart. So society has convinced you through your journey through your life that to make it through this world, you've got to have nothing to do with LOVE. And what you don't realize is you've got a dark root in your heart. It's called a stronghold. And you use that as a shield to protect those emotions. You're a private person by nature, but to the public, all you do is act out. To some, that may be looked at as being bipolar. Depending on how severe, that could be also interpreted as being schizophrenic. And to others, we also know it as a spiritual attack. Oh, yes. And they keep on coming. But see, that's how the devil does, y'all. That's how he does. That's how he does. He's got to attack you at every angle to keep you from seeing yourself. Why do you think you're so promiscuous? Hmm? Instead of looking for love in the inside, you exhibit it on the outside. But you're surprised the price comes by way of your body, by way of your heart. You got so much scar tissue on your heart. You surprised that you're alive because you have done some things that you knew that if anybody really knew what was really going on, I'd be behind bars. I know I'm talking to someone. You laugh about that. You laugh about the things you've done. And in the back of your mind, you archive these events through people. You run from anything that has any type of compassion. Why? Because you just a stone's throw from an emotional breakdown. Why do you think you drink so much? Huh? But yet in the same breath you say, I just want them to be real with me so I can keep it real with me. But you know deep down inside, this ain't your life. It's not. I know I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking to that heart. I'm sending that love to you. Because guess what? You got angels. You got spirit guides. You got people that you have willfully betrayed. How about your elders? How about those people that came before you that are no longer here? We know that is your spirit guides, y'all. They love you unconditionally, but they disappointed because they know that you're very intelligent. You know better, but you choose to self-inflict and self-sabotage not only your mortality, but everything connected to you. You know, just like the Rolls Royce classic, Love Don't Live Here Anymore. That's a song for somebody. Or how's it go? You abandoned me. Love don't live here no more. You've been singing that song since you were 5. It's time for you to change that tune. Because what you don't realize, there were many times that you stood at the threshold of death's door and didn't even know it. You had synchronicities and signs be revealed to you from the spiritual realm to let you know this is not the way. So you had to have some things occur for, in less of a word, some shock value to motivate you, not to enable you. But we all know that deep down inside, you want unconditional love. So why are you looking for illustrations put out there on the boob tube? Why are you looking at inspirations from your circle when you should look at it for the truth that it is? Your circle is broken like rice paper. That's why you can't have heart to hearts. But they quick to tell you about who got turned up and who got locked up. But those are supposed to be your friends. Those are supposed to be the ones that love you. Let me tell you something. The moment that you decide to get out of pocket, that's the moment that they're going to walk away from you. You know it, they know it, and you wasting time because guess what? Until those people decide to do the work, they're no good for you. You know that. Why you think your girlfriend keep talking about your man, trying to get you to sway from being around him? She trying to say, well, why don't you talk to him? Don't worry about Johnny. Johnny, he a square. You know why? Because secretly she want Johnny. She want Johnny bad, and she needs some dirt on you. Yes, she do. She wants you out the way. Your stick man, he ain't your friend. He has told you time and time again if the opportunity would present itself, he would take everything you got. He would live your life and had no problem showing you that. But yet, you have an undying alliance to this person. Put you in compromising positions, huh? So what are you gonna do? Run away again? Run? Because guess what? You can pack your stuff up and move to Shangri-La and be tranquil. And guess what? You'll never get to enjoy it. You will not find the solace that you desire. Why? Because you're afraid. Tell the truth. Shame the devil and tell the truth. And that backpack is getting heavy. It's getting very heavy. Why you think you are being so reckless now? Because you're giving up on yourself. They've convinced you that you don't matter. And you're convinced that they're telling you the truth. Don't you realize they're trying to keep you unbalanced? So the question is, what's the point on making resolutions if you're not going to stick to them? How about start loving you? How about that? No, I'm not talking about the act. You'll never find, you'll find temporary pleasure and a whole lot of pain. And that's funny because people think that to be in love comes with pain. It comes with pain when there's no truth. There's no transparency. You know why? Because you're not yoked. But you've seen this play out, haven't you, my king? Your boy told you about that girl that she was seeing and how perfect she was and how he wanted to build a life with her. But she was married. So how perfect is that? Hmm? There's only two outcomes going to come out of that: a jail cell or a coffin, because he ain't got his head on straight. And why are you settling? But I understand that. I understand. Because if you've never had a example of what real is, you accept anything. And this is not to discredit them, because guess what? All things done in the dark come to the light. Which brings me to this last point. Queens, when you gonna get tired? Aren't you tired of being the other woman? How about that kept woman? Yeah, you know her. She's got a nicely decorated prison cell because she's not doing it on her own except on her back. But yet she wants you to honor her, give her accolations of an illusion. Don't you realize you've been in pain for so long and you pretty much were acting out the whole time? But guess what? Your breakthrough's coming. Yeah, it is. Because you can't toe that line anymore. And this makes me wonder right now. Somebody's weighing an option to go jointly in something joint financial with somebody. Don't do that. Check your credit report. You might be surprised what you find on it. You might find some stuff that was going on that you knew nothing about. And, you know, it's time to reel this in. But I just want you guys to know this. When it comes to your life is not going to be dropped at your feet. You have to take the first step to your destiny. Remember, your life ultimately is that field. That's why they call it field of dreams for that reason. Because it's going to be those seeds that you plant and cultivate by time, by reflection, by understanding that the growth will come. And it'll come in the intended time. So I'm going to ask you this right now, 2016. Do you know who you are? Do you? Because if you don't know who you are, don't you think it's time that you do? God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, for that, for that, it helps me discern mine. If you are shedding a tear and it's not tears of joy, that's one tear too many. And it's time that you have that connection and that conversation, not only with yourself, but with God. Because see, I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna take some courage to do, y'all, because that's the road of atonement. That's the road of forgiveness. That's the road of understanding the most beautiful thing, and that's you. I would love to hear from you. If there's somebody that you know that this may be pertaining to, share it. All my videos are there for that. That's why we're on this planet, y'all. Each one, teach one. If you're spending one day taking an L, you basically are living someone else's life. And it's time that you identify that and claim yours back. Because I'm going to tell you what, there are those that are covertly close to your life, watching what you're doing. And they're banking that you won't. This is not about pride. This is not about ego. Well, let's make this clear. You will never have the life intended if you walk in pride, if you walk in ego. Why? Because that means you'll never take accountability for your direction. And you'll never know your direction until you go within. I would love to hear from you guys. Have a blessed week. Be blessed.